Hey folks, my name's Jesse.
I'm David or Snow.
I use they, them pronouns, and I'm your Vice President Campaigns and Advocacy for the York Federation of Students. I am also a senior floater this year for you folks at Winters Frosh.
I use he, him pronouns. I am your president of the Theater Student Association, and I am also a senior floater for your Frosh.
And
welcome to Pride Tour!
Buddies in Bad Times for all your theater lovers is a theater that was founded in 1978 by Matt Walsh, Jerry Siccariti, and Sky Gilbert. And although initially started out as a place to stage poetry, starting in 1980 and moving forward under Sky Gilbert alone, it moved to a very queer-centric aesthetic. The theater became pro-sexual, anti-establishment, and very political in its beliefs. And that has continued all the way until today under the artistic direction of current AD, Evelyn Perry, with accolades like the first Toronto production of Margaret Atwood's The Penelopiad, spawning great Canadian writers like Daniel MacGyver, who is very pro-gay, and a myriad of other important contributions to theatre in Toronto, as well as its affiliations with other independent theatres like Nightwood, Passe Muraille. This theatre continues to be very important to the city. The theatre is one of the most inclusive spaces in all of Toronto, especially for queer culture, especially since it has introduced things like the Rhubarb Festival, the Queer Youth Writing Program, and so on. And if you are looking for really cutting-edge, next-level theatre, you're gonna love it here. Affectionately called Queer West is like the trendy younger cousin of the Village. Having multiple gay bars as early as the 1960s, this area has always been a plentiful gay area. Parkdale, Trinity Bellwoods, Queen West, and a myriad of others. This makes up the west part of Toronto. And from 92 to 2001, a coalition was made to create a gay space in the West End. A lot of what came from it were Queer West Fest, Queer West Film Festival, the Toronto Gay Bicycling Club, Out exclusive online newspaper, as well as many more. And a big reason why I personally love Queer West is because it's where alternative drag lives. So queens like myself who do something a little less pretty can have a home. Distillery District may not be uniquely queer, but it is an important spot for anyone to see. Once being the industrial hub of Toronto, it has slowly moved into a privately owned area full of beautiful little shops owned by locals. Every December in the Distillery District, there's the Christmas Market, which is one of Toronto's most gone-to events. And it's full of adorable little vendors of both food and drink, as well as other attractions. For all you theatre lovers, this area does have the Young Centre for the Performing Arts, which houses Soul Pepper Theatre and George Brown School of Theatre, as well as for all you people that like to party with Troy Frosh, there is the Rebel Nightclub, and just if you want to browse, it has some of the most old buildings in the whole city that are absolutely gorgeous to look at. So if you just want some aesthetic pictures, go for it, girl!
Welcome to the Village. Bordered by Bloor, Jarvis, Gerrard, and Yonge Street, the Village is the colloquial name of a small Toronto neighborhood located at Church and Wellesley. The portion of the neighborhood bounded by Yonge, Jarvis, Maitland, and Carlton Streets was once the estate of Alexander Wood, a merchant and magistrate in Upper Canada who was at the center of a strange, supposedly sexual scandal in 1810. His lands were known as Molly Wood's Bush. In the early 19th century, Molly was a slang term for homosexual. A few bathhouses, stag shops, and drag bars later, and we have the neighborhood we know of today as the Village. On February 5th, 1981, patrons of 4 bathhouses in downtown Toronto, the Barracks, the Club, Richmond Street Health Emporium, and Roman Health and Recreation Spa, were surprised by 200 police officers in a series of coordinated raids called Operation Soap. Bathhouse patrons were subjected to excessive behavior by police, including verbal taunts about their sexuality. When the night was over, 306 men in total were charged with various crimes. It was, up to that time, the largest single arrest in Toronto's history. Most of those arrested were found innocent of the charges. The raids marked a turning point for Toronto's gay community, as the protests that followed indicated they would no longer endure derogatory treatment from the police, media, and the public. It is because of rioting and protesting that LGBTQ+ voices were heard. Although things are much better today, we still have a long way to go before our community can truly know what liberation means. It is the oldest surviving LGBTQ+ centered bookstore in North America. Opened in 1970 by Gerald Moldenhauer, it was Toronto's and Canada's first bookstore targeted to the LGBTQ+ community. The bookstore originally operated out of Gerald's apartment in the Annex, which also served as the original offices of The Body Politic. Fun fact, The Body Politic was a Canadian monthly magazine which was published from 1971 to 1987. It was one of Canada's first significant queer publications and played a prominent role in the development of the LGBTQ+ community in Canada. Moldenhauer later moved to a house in Kensington Market, where the bookstore and magazine operated out of a shed in his backyard. The store moved to its Yonge Street location in 1981 and relocated to Church Street in 2016.
Hi guys, my name is Zoe Marin and my pronouns are she, her, and I am a third-year theater student. I'll be one of your hosts on the music tour today, and don't worry, we will be wearing masks for the rest of this tour, but we just wanted you to be able to recognize us if we ever come back to campus.
Hey everyone, so I'm Connor McCann, pronouns he, him, and I'm going to be your other host. I am also the president of the Rock Metal Association, so if you're into rock and metal, feel free to check us out.
Hey guys, we're here at the Horseshoe Tavern. As you can see, although all the concerts have been canceled, the front patio and the bar are still open. This place opened up in 1947. Since then, it's been through many phases, but as of right now, it's more like indie rock. A lot of bands have actually performed here. Some of my faves include Mitski, St. Vincent, Tame Impala, and many more. Horseshoe Tavern. Hey guys, we're here at the Velvet Underground, which is just a few blocks under the last location. As you can tell, this place is closed, because unlike the other locations that you're gonna see, there's no food served here, so it's just straight up closed due to COVID. I saw a concert here a couple months ago. I'll insert a picture here. And I was gonna see Greer here in June, and then it got postponed to December. And it recently got postponed to May. And that's kind of the vibe for most of these locations due to COVID. But here it is. It's a cute little small location for concerts. There it is. Hey guys, just a couple blocks down from the last location is the Bovine Sex Club. As you can see, the hours have obviously been changed because of COVID. However, since it is a bar, it is still open, and as you'll see in a second, there is a patio up there, which is pretty cool. But obviously, most of the concerts and stuff have been either canceled or postponed. However, I've seen there's a couple open mics that are still scheduled for summer, so there's that. Once again, this used to be a club, but now it's just a place for live music, and even though it's a bunch of genres, it's mainly been rock music, so yeah. Bovine Sex Club.
Welcome everybody to Cherry Cola's Rock'n'Rolla Cabaret Lounge, better known as Cherry Cola's. This venue is standing room only, but there are some seating without much of a view of the stage. They're planning to open up a patio service, but I do not know if they've already gotten that opened or are still working on it. This venue is great for local bands as well as indie bands of varying genres. Bands like Artificial Alien, Down the Void, Down for Anything, and Shooter have all played Cherry Cola's in the last year, as well as many, many more. Right behind me is Sneaky D's. Though the upstairs venue is currently closed due to COVID, there is patio, as you can see behind me, and delivery service. The venue section is mainly standing room only, with some chairs and a coat check, while the first floor is a restaurant and bar. The venue has seen bands like Pup, Cancer Bats, Death from Above 1979, Service Delay, Generation Zero, The Ocean Cure, Artificial Alien, Damon Gray, Down the Void, Weigh the Anchor, As the Structure Falls, Sunlust, and many, many more, covering a broad range from alt-rock to heavier bands. It's also the home of many different dance party events, covering an incredible range of artists. Tribute nights, regular Legends of Karaoke on Wednesdays, and Homesick's Emo Night Toronto every Friday. Their menu is an incredible selection of Tex-Mex style food, with all but 2 ingredients being locally sourced, and can be viewed on their website below. They also have a mobile app up and running, but is currently only for the iPhone. So, right behind me is Lee's Palace. The actual venue itself is currently closed due to COVID, but it does appear that they've opened up a small little restaurant. The venue itself is standing room only, and it also has a dance cave on its upper level, which caters to mostly an alt-rock crowd. The main venue is both large and small at the same time, thus allowing a sizable crowd, while still keeping the intimate feel that you get from smaller venues. Bands like Nirvana, Oasis, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Arctic Monkeys have all played this venue before, and in the last year, Lee's Palace has seen Soulfly, Of Mice and Men, Bless the Fall, Escape the Fate, The Agonist, 1000 Below, Afterlife, Light the Torch, Congos, as well as local bands like Artificial Alien, Cigar Club, and many, many more. They've played host to events like Punk for Paws 2019, Toronto Punk Rock Flea Market, Story Party Toronto, Toronto Funk and Soul Festival, Death to T.O. No. 9, as well as an annual Bob Marley birthday tribute. Lee's Palace has also appeared in a movie. You may recognize the venue from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Okay, so while we've shown you 6 great venues, there are so many more that we haven't been able to show you, mostly due to distance. So you all probably know about Scotiabank Arena, but there's also Budweiser Stage, Rebel, Danforth Music Hall, the Phoenix Concert Theatre, the Opera House, the Hard Luck, B-Side Lounge, and the Cavern, as well as so many more that even we don't really know of. Your best bet is to go out, try and Google them, or check out their socials. Okay, so we have one last extra venue for all of you. This one is not downtown. Instead, it is directly across the way from Winter's residence, right underneath Winter's College. In room 013 of Winter's College is the Absinthe Pub and Coffee Shop. Great food, great place to hang out with friends. Overall, great place. There are usually events like karaoke nights and band nights, but these events wouldn't be happening until at least winter semester, maybe later. Just due to COVID, we don't know when stuff will happen again. We don't know what the hours are going to be or anything, but in years past, the AB has seen bands like Artificial Alien, Cigar Club, Moss, and many, many more. And those 3 bands that were listed all have at least one member from York University in them. But yeah, so when you get the chance, or if you're waiting, like whenever you can, come by, see if the ab's open.
So yeah, that's the end of our tour. Thank you guys so much for watching this little vlog. We're so sorry that it couldn't happen in person, but you know, Rona. We just wanted to mention that any of the venues you saw, even though most of them are closed right now due to COVID, they're very accessible through the TTC, and you should be able to visit any of them if you are interested. But yes, thank you for coming on the tour.